Hold that fucking L, Steve Kerr, you pussy. We are back. It is Rollin. Jays. I'm Coley Mick here with Squarehead, Buddha the Ball Knower, your favorite cousin's stage. It is produced by Jake Yazzie, presented by Underdog Fantasy. You can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you first sign up and deposit using promo code Banner19. Fuck you, Steve Kerr. I'm glad Jaylen didn't talk to you. You stink. Thoughts?
Good blowout, man. Good blowout to end off the this week's stretch. I mean, we still got some games rolling, I guess, but last week we predicted this week was gonna be a 4-0. It wasn't that, but it's all right though. We went 2-2. Did I blank out?
I cut out, but it would have definitely still recorded, I imagine.
Yep, we got it.
Yeah, I said less.
They went 2-2. No doubt. Buddha.
Hey, I had him at 2-2, so I mean, just bet with Buddha, just bet with me. I honestly and we gave Steve Kerr a lot of shit in our first podcast. We've talked about it. My skin was crawling at the end of that, not at the end of the game, but in that whole segment at the end. Like, he was standing there, like waiting for like a guy to ask him, waiting for the guy at the middle school dance to ask him to dance, and it just never happened. Like, JT and Curry were going back and forth. I don't know if you guys noticed this. And again, like, celebrities are going to talk with their hands over their mouth, but I really felt like the conversation between Tatum and Curry was very hands over the mouth. Like, I don't know. I thought that was really weird. And then it almost felt like Curry helped facilitate the awkwardness. Like, hey, I'm just going to extend this conversation a little bit longer so that Kerr and Tatum don't have to talk to each other. And I think Tatum did go over and, said hello, but my skin was crawling for that 30 seconds.
Jaylen didn't fold, didn't budge. He was like, I see you seeing me, not see you, Steve Kerr. Like, it is what it is. Fuck you. And that's what it will be forever. I honestly do believe, especially seeing how they reacted to that they needed to get over that Warriors loss from earlier this year. They had to exercise this demon to continue. Like, I think it was one of those things that bothered them, losing to Golden State earlier this year after all the Steve Kerr shit. It was like delayed therapy that they weren't able to take care of earlier. That win, they went 2-2. Not trying to excuse losing to the Raptors. You can never excuse that. The Trey Full Hawks can't lose to Trey Young. And I like Trey Young. It's just a thing. We don't lose to him. And so that was rude. I feel like they won their two most important games over these last four. Games that can still instill plenty of confidence in me when everyone else is freaking the fuck out. They beat Paolo like he was there. I know the Magic have been ravaged by injuries this year. Paolo was back. They beat him by 30. And then this game, beating the Warriors by 40. Love it. Needed it. I think Steph was like, please. I know it's not possible for you guys to trade for me, but try and figure it out. That's what he was saying to JT. Please.
Bro, I think it was great, bro. Obviously, the boys enjoyed Toronto, went out the night before, so they were a little sloppy in Toronto, so it's all good. Enjoy, like Coley told me, enjoy the international love over there. I ain't tripping on that. We come back, we beat Paulo and the boys. That was a great one. That overtime L killed me, bro. It killed me, but it's all right. We'll get those back. And yes, bro, getting over the Warriors, that's always been my thing, bro. Getting over the Warriors has always been a thing for me. Us beating them the way we beat them, even though they're ass, it doesn't matter to me. I still take that dub. I love that dub. It's a good one, bro. Let's keep it rolling.
I also think, like, Celtics, like, again, maybe it's the national media, maybe it's, Celtic haters, whoever it is. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't tell me when Porzingis and Horford don't play against Atlanta that, you had your two best players, and then, we play Golden State, and it's like, oh, well, they didn't have Draymond and Kuminga, so that win doesn't really count. It's like, well, when our players are out, the games freaking count, but when other teams' players are out, they don't count. Like, it doesn't really make sense. And I think in that 4-game stretch, you looked at it as, there's a difference between potential and production, right? And in that, I think the three of us have been so high on the Celtics all year because of their potential, right? Their ceiling. Production is another thing, right? Like, that's showing up every single night and getting it done on a night-to-night basis. But I thought you looked at, the potential of the Celtics in those two games, when we're playing like we played against Orlando or Golden State, that's the team that this podcast has been talking about, right? That's the team that this podcast has been confident in, not only in the regular season, but going into the postseason, and getting back to the finals to repeat. So I look at those two games as like get right games. Again, it hasn't been a great stretch for us. Guys have been in and out. Whatever excuse you want to come up with, those two nights were get right nights for me, and it felt good, felt damn good. And maybe I'm wrong because my team just went 2-2, and we should set a higher bar for them. But I look at the potential of those two wins and the potential of our team, and that was just a get right night for me.
I was gonna say, bro, like I I'm usually really critical of our season when we lose games, bro, but like. To be real, bro, like what we're going through right now is like when I just look at previous years, bro, this is kind of like the Celtics strut, bro. We just kind of like do our thing. We kill in the beginning of the season. We kind of like go through some weirdness in like January-ish, February-ish. And then by like May, we're like, bro, this is the team. Like this is the squad. So I feel like we just kind of go through the trend that we always go through. And I know that we have this pod now, so we're being super critical of it. But this to me is just feeling like the Celtics strut.
Yeah, and even during the Hawks game, before everything went to shit and they ran out of gas, they show a stat on the broadcast. It was the team stats where they ranked in relation to the rest of the league. And it was everything from field goal percent, like everything. They were top 5 in everything. Every single category that you can find, they were still comfortably a top 5 team. So I think it's also one of these things. You get so hyper fixated on the team. It's like, oh man, everything's going to shit. You look around and it's like, oh, we're still way better than everybody except for OKC and Cleveland. Okay. Okay. And we're the defending champs. Yeah, there's no reason to really feel bad about this. Would I like them to stop losing to the Raptors? Definitely. I think that's fair. I think it's a fair standard to hold them to. But you know what? Middle of the season, the boys had to get after it. They had to go out in Toronto. I bet it's happened to all of us, I think. I think we've all been there, Buddha.
I can't say I've been out in Toronto. I've been to Canada multiple times. I got family up in Canada. Shout out the Boudreaux, but I've never been out. I've never been out there.
You're a Montreal guy? Where are you going?
Oh, dude. Shetty Camp, Nova Scotia. There's one stoplight in the whole fucking town. There's 4 restaurants. They all have the same menu. And I think every single person comes from like 7 different last names. So it was just a bunch of like, I don't know, fishermen up there. And it's like 17 hours away. It's farther east than it is north. 17-hour drive. I went there 2 summers ago. Fantastic
Drive?
spot though. Drive. You can't fly. There's no airport within like 4 hours.
You're driving 17.
I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe the flight will work for you. I get it.
Shetty Camp.
The airport's too far. You're too far. What are you talking about? The airport's too
Sometimes
far.
the road trip is worth it. I get it. Sometimes
Sure,
the road trip
no
is
doubt.
worth it. Sometimes.
No doubt.
I went from like meeting family members, and I like skipped so many steps. Like they saw me when I was like 8, and then I had to like reintroduce myself at like 28. So like they didn't see me like they never saw me like hit puberty or like they never saw any of it. It was just like 8-year-old to like who's the guy in the polo and the the peacoat? Like who is that guy?
Who's that guy dressed like a fucking like a detective from the 50s? It's Buddha.
Yeah. And why? And he also has Tewksbury basketball sweatpants on. So I understand. It's a hell of a look.
Yeah, we have no idea what that could even potentially mean. Are they in the NBA? What is that? I love learning other parts of Buddha's lore every week. Just how
it's the best, bro. Buddha facts are the best.
We throw a couple sprinkles out there, a couple sprinkles every episode. You know, my middle name's William, by the way.
All right, we got one this week. It was the Nova Scotia shit. Calm down. Listen, you leave this guy open, he starts firing.
Oh man, don't give me the rock. Don't give me the rock.
No, how do you feel, Buddha? This team's playing with Kristaps right now, because that may be the only alarming thing, that it's still not fully integrated, and that their net rating without him has been way better than with. Are you at all alarmed by trying to work him back in, or do you have a normal brain and realize there's still like 40 games left?
I definitely don't have a normal brain, but what I will tell you is that I think Porzingis is a guy that is so involved in what we do that he's not a player that I really want to say, you know what? Yeah, like, we've been saying pretty much for the past couple months, like, put him in bubble wrap and we'll see you. But I do think the integration piece is going to be important. And that's on both sides of the ball. And Chris Forsberg actually came out with a really good article talking about some of the tweaks that they've made over the past couple of nights. And Porzingis has a lot to do with that. He's not affected immediately by the changes, but the whole team is affected. And what they're doing is they're taking Tatum off the floor like halfway through the first and then putting him back in with the bench minutes, which I think is where Tatum is going to be at his best. Tatum can elevate players like a Hauser, Horford, Pritchard, Cornette. Like, that lineup to me is gonna be a high plus minus lineup because it's led and driven by Jason Tatum. But making that adjustment and allowing for a guy like Kristaps to have longer minutes in the first quarter, or a Jaylen to have more consistent minutes in that first quarter, has been a really positive development. And it's small tweaks like that where I feel like, again, if you're going to have Tatum play the whole first quarter all season, and then in the postseason just completely switch up the timing, the rhythm, all of those different things, I think that's going to mess. I think that could potentially mess with people's heads. So I want them to start to have nights. It doesn't have to be every night, but have nights where, hey, tonight is a simulated playoff rotation night, because I want them to feel what it feels like to play 42, 43, 44 minutes a night. I want them to feel, hey, Cornette, you might be getting 3 minutes tonight, and you better be damn good in those 3 minutes. So I do want them to experiment with what the playoff rotation will look like specific nights, and you can pick and choose your spots. But with Porzingis, I think that's the integration piece that we're missing, and that's the integration piece that, again, we need, and we got to get it right before the playoffs, because I don't want to leave it up to the postseason.
No, it's a fact, bro. I think we do. Like, we need, obviously we need Kristaps, bro. We need Kristaps, and this is a problem right now. And I think, bro, I said this shit last week, but I feel like, bro, with defense, bro, like, I feel like the first team to figure out this whole defensive thing, because everybody's scoring at such a high clip. Once we figure out the defense with Kristaps in there too, bro, it saves us a lot on those nights when the ball's not falling for us. You know what I'm saying? I think obviously we need Kristaps, but we need Kristaps is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I thought defensively he looked good against the Warriors B team, however we want to call that Warriors team. The Warriors are a B team at this point. They started hot, they've been bad, so I don't really get the injury excuse. They're losing fully healthy. Like, it's not a great team at the moment, but I thought that was the most comfortable he looked defending space since he's really come back and started playing consistently, which is big. I think that's going to be, if he's not out there being that elite defensive presence, I think that really is the difference. I think I think Nate pointed it out. He's starting to take corner threes. I had no idea. He only took 8 corner threes last year. 8.
I saw that.
I know he likes living out by half court and shooting from there because his limbs are too long, but that feels like a layup to me. Him just mixing in a couple corner threes. I like that adjustment personally.
I stole my goddamn thunder, Coley. That was on my list of things I wanted to talk about tonight, was Porzingis shooting corner threes, because you really don't see it. And I didn't have the numbers to back it up. So I'm thrilled that you had the number to tell me that Porzingis really wasn't shooting. I
stole your point and you didn't even have the point.
You know what? It would have been delivered way better if I made the point and then you hit the fans with the stat. Like, that would have been like the layer that I would have been looking for to get the credit on that. No, but Porzingis is, we've talked about like the 3 people at the top of the key, right? It's either a down screen to a wing, and then it's a curl pop, reject, slip, however you want to do it, right? There's so many different options, but Porzingis is usually involved in either the ball screen, right? Or, the screen going away, and having him spaced out in the corner. Number one, I think it does 2 things. I think the first thing is it spaces the floor really well. when you think about Porzingis shooting threes, it really is from the top of the key. That's where he launches from. But when he's in the corner, right, like whoever's in the corner has to cover that guy. Like, and not only has to cover him, but he can get his shot off. Unless you're in his grill, he's going to be able to get his shot off. So they have to hug him in the corner, and that's going to open up spacing. The second thing that it does is, and him, like, for offensive rebounding purposes or just ducking into like the dunker spot, like that is a really, if you don't keep your eyes on him, you know, if you can't see the man and the ball at the same time, if you don't keep your eyes on him, he can just back cut and you have a 7'3" guy attacking the hoop. I don't need him involved in the ball screen every single time. And I want to talk about the ball screen, but we will get to that because it comes up in a different game. But I don't want Porzingis to be the main ball screener every single time down the floor. And I think putting him in the corner is a really good alternative.
It's just also at a certain point, you got to give other teams multiple looks. If it's always going to be, hey, I can just put my center at the free throw line because I know they're going to use Kristaps in the action at the top of the key. And I can just always build around that, having different punches, moving that guy. Now you can set screens like you're saying on the other side of the court, even corner to wing screens. Opposite of that, they have no one to defend the rim. And we have plenty of people, JT, JB, D White with his floaters, who can attack the rim. Pritchard is making it more of a point, it seems like, to show off his post game, which I appreciate. He's doing it like intentionally multiple times a game now. Just be like, no, I actually can finish down here. So yeah, I like that adjustment a lot. One adjustment just is I'm not sure the player likes or not. JB has said some things the last couple of games, being like, yeah, I'm just trying to adjust to being this initiator. I'm used to scoring the ball. Now I gotta get my assist game on more. I saw a lot of people saying he was complaining without complaining about his shots going down. I don't know. I feel like he's still getting his looks. I think he was just, as he normally does, speaking brutally honest, and people not being super used to that.
No, I think that's exactly what you just said is what happened. JB, if we look at it, like his stats are down right now, but I think that's because he's trying to adjust. He's just playing a different game that he's used to. This JB is a new JB. Like, obviously, we say that every year, JB changes something about his game. But this year, especially, the way he's just deciding to score, his decision-making on how he's scoring, going straight to the rim, you know what I'm saying, and initiating that contact. And now he's trying to find guys open while he's doing that. This is a different JB because we have a different team, and he's just trying to find his way like everybody else. So I think that's just JB, being brutally honest. And it's the truth, man. We see it in the stats. Like, he's putting up his shots, but they're not falling to the same clip that they were because it's something that he's not used to. We're trying something new now.
Yeah, it isn't something that ever really. You're talking about every January. I feel like this is when people forget, like, JT has these weird peaks and valleys in his shooting splits throughout a season, and he usually goes God mode. That should be coming up soon, actually.
He kind of had it going in the second half in Atlanta. Like, you watch back that game, and man, he's taking some difficult shots where you're like, holy shit, is that going to go in? Yeah. And it sure as hell did.
Yeah, even to start this Warriors game early, I think it was right when he came in. I think they put him back in at the end of the first quarter, a little earlier than I expected. But he came in, he got doubled at the left wing. He gives like a little Steve Smith out there, a little fake, and just steps right into a three and drills it. Like, that's not something he had been doing historically. And to just like come off the bench cold and just go right to that is extremely, he's been hitting some stupid shots lately. He's been playing well. He's been playing very well.
I do have one pet peeve about Jaylen's game that I want him to prove me wrong, and I want other people to prove me wrong in this. But when he gets, and he doesn't get the ball a ton in these kind of situations, but when he gets the ball in a post-up situation, it's a fadeaway jump shot. Like, no if and buts about it. He's going to take 3 dribbles. I feel like that's
damn near his signature move at this point. The little fadeaway, like from right under the rim, damn near.
Like, I would freaking love it if he could drop step out of it and then lay it in. Like if he can just hit a guy on the defensive side once, I'll be like, maybe he's listening. He's listening, guys.
Well, to his credit, like just like Stiz is saying, it is his signature move. He's been doing that fadeaway for he's been doing it for 3-4 years now. But last year in the playoffs, and especially to the Mavs a lot, what was he doing? He was doing that fake fade, up fake, and then the step through. How many easy buckets in the playoffs last year did he get with that? I think he's building his case like he does every year. Like, no, I'm always going to shoot this fadeaway. You can trust me. And then when the games start mattering, he's up faking there, stepping through, and it's a wide open look at the rim. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't go back to that. I just don't think during the regular season he wants to show that. I think he likes making people forget.
There's that video. Who's the Braves pitcher? Was it Tom Glavine?
Greg Maddux.
It was Greg Maddux, and Greg Maddux talking to the catcher, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna throw him the fastball in, and I know he's gonna hit it out of the ballpark, but we're gonna come back to this exact spot in the postseason. I'm gonna strike him out on a changeup. It's like he's taking the jumper now so that he's gonna hit him with the drop step later. Like I see it coming, but it has been bugging me a little bit because you look at Jaylen and you're like, holy crap, this guy is like, he could be on World's Strongest Man. Like he is freaking jacked. And I want him to use that strength. So pros and cons, but it's just
you see it when he takes swings to the cup every single time, bro. They kind of just like bounce off of him, like taper. It's crazy. It's crazy.
They're not in the depths of the deep end all offseason, Stiz. They're not ready for the contact in the middle of the lane. They're not down there playing chess. They're not down there reading War and Peace like JB.
That's a fact.
What do you mean they're going to meet him in the lane? I am getting annoyed with how often I see them on the ground and the refs not calling and one. Like, very annoyed by it. They're constantly having to peel themselves out of the photographer row, yell at the refs while the other team's already in their half court set because they got knocked so far into the crowd. It's like, at what point are they going to start getting the calls they deserve? Any other team I see, their star players get those calls. It won't ever happen for us, and it drives me insane.
It's just not. It's just like we're never going to get those calls, and it is what it is. Like
that's a fact. I know.
I know people are freaking out about the Kansas City Chiefs right now. All the calls they get, like we're the opposite of that. We are not. We are never going to get those calls. Did you guys see
Missoula
the play,
called in?
Go ahead.
I was going to say Missoula called in and gave all of ours. He gave them to Kansas City. It makes sense now. All of our calls. It makes sense, bro. It all makes sense. What was you saying, Buddha? My bad for cutting you off, bro.
No, there was just a play at the end of the Atlanta game. I don't know if it was the end of regulation or end of overtime. And Jaylen tried to block Okongwu. And he freaking like went down hard. And he stayed in the game. But when he was on the ground there for a second, like I had real fear. Like, holy shit, he hit the ground freaking hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time, like when Tatum dove for that ball against the Thunder and held his shoulder for 2 seconds, like I don't enjoy any of that. I don't like. Remember when Jaylen got hurt early in his career trying to dunk on someone, and he promised his mom he wasn't going to dunk anymore. He just lied, absolutely lied. But that's how I feel.
Why do you make that promise?
He went. This was like year 2 Jaylen too, and there was a stretch where he was like forcing layups, and then I can't remember who it was against. It was probably Giannis, knowing the amount of times he's got him on posters. He just came through, and after the game, he was like, "I didn't mean to lie," and then he just went right back to dunking.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Oh, Jaylen's very underrated funny. Like I think people view him as this so serious, almost like Batman villain. Like when he's in there, big coats on, talking his shit, but like more monotone than me, like just as deadpan as possible. And I think people often miss like how funny JB is. He kills.
Yeah, that was a good one, bro. That's funny.
Buddha, what pissed you off about the end of the Hawks game? Because for me, there's one thing that I don't like. Trae Young, they said this during the broadcast, was 1 for 13 this season shooting threes against the Celtics. 1 for 13. And the one he hit was right before halftime in this game. It was a floater So set 3-point shots, 0 for 12 on the season against the Celtics. Why are we fouling up 3?
Up 2, right?
I think it was 2. You're right.
Yeah, no, because like I was so confused, and I went back and I listened to Drew, and Drew just said the game is on me, and I don't he didn't say like, oh, like I didn't mean to foul or I meant to foul. Like we
fouled up. Hold on, we fouled up 3, and then Tatum. They hit the 2 free throws. They fouled Tatum. Tatum only went 1 for 2. So that's when we were up 2. And then Drew fouled. So I'm not even talking about the Drew foul. I'm talking about we were up 3 after the Drew to Jaylen turnover, which was infuriating. That turnover happens because Drew just doesn't hold the ball. He throws it to Jaylen. So we're up 3, Hawks with the ball. We fouled Trey. Obviously, he's like a 95% 3-point shoot, free throw shooter. He just doesn't miss free throws. You foul him to guarantee them 2 points, as opposed to again, he's 0 for 12 on threes against you. I know he can shoot threes, but I'd much rather in the regular season, you go ahead and hit the shot that you haven't hit all year. If that's what happens when we go to overtime, fine. But I'm not getting into this foul back and forth thing. Take your shot, we'll get the rebound, the game's over.
It's so dangerous to reach in on a guy that at any point, again, if you're a Steph Curry, a Trae Young, at any point, those guys can just get the ball up and off.
Mm-hmm.
And they can legitimately look at the referee and say, no, I wanted to shoot it from 75 feet away because I'm that damn good at basketball. So I do agree with you in the regular season. I would rather just let them play it out. But I think fouling up 3 is an extremely interesting conversation. And I would love to see data on it. We've talked about the 2 for 1. I don't know if that has led to smart, successful plays around the NBA. Right. I do wonder about the fouling as well. And when Trae Young's not going to miss free throws
ever.
And we have been struggling with them. Tatum, what the fuck, man? If you're not going to make the free throws at the end of the game, I want somebody else taking them. We cannot keep pissing away these free throws, man. What are we doing?
That is a fact, bro. Who's our best free throw shooter?
It was on my list of questions, Stiz. Who should take the free throws at the end of the game?
Pritchard?
Game 7, NBA Finals. You're up by 2.
Who's going? Derek White to take him, bro.
No, it's still Tatum.
White taking him, bro. I'm not Tatum, bro. I'm not even, and that's no knock on JT, bro. But he be missing these motherfuckers sometimes, bro, and they be killing me, bro.
I think it's between those 3. I think it's between those 3 guys.
What's your holiday?
Pritchard and Tatum would be my 3.
Pritchard's not going to be on the court. He just won't be.
He's not going to be on the court.
He could be.
He shouldn't be.
He won't.
He won't.
But I'm not.
What's Derek White shooting? Somebody let me know, bro.
I'm trying to look up everything. I can't. There's Tatum. Tatum is shooting 80% from the free throw line this year.
And he was perfect.
You know, and that's great,
he was perfect
bro.
against Atlanta until that
It'd be
point.
the clutch ones, bro. It's the clutch ones. The clutch ones are killer for some reason.
He also clanked that. He back rimmed it bad. It really wasn't close.
But then when he knocks him down, I can't say nothing. So I got to shut my mouth, bro, because he knocks him down more than he misses him, obviously. So, but the ones that he missed, they're so loud, bro. They hurt my soul.
Drew shooting 89.1% from the free throw.
What are we doing? All right. All right.
Listen, here's the problem. Here's the problem. Drew goes up there because how many free throws a game is Drew shooting? 1. You know what I mean? How he's shooting 9 of 10 per month.
Good point.
You walk him to line and God forbid he misses. You know what I mean? I don't want to put that on Drew Holiday, but God forbid he misses. Now Missoula has to answer why wasn't Tatum shooting the free throw?
That's a fact.
Good point.
That's
that. Fucking Phil Jackson drew up a play for Tony Kukoc instead of Scottie Pippen, and they still talk about it. They still talk about that decision.
Good point.
It's a fucking Ben Johnson, the Bears' new coach. He's in he's down 10 and he's got Jamison Williams throwing the football. Coaches, they do insane things sometimes.
Yeah, I would hate for Drew to catch that kind of slack, bro. Which is crazy because JT's so used to it. But yeah, I would hate for that to, because you missed one of those and you Drew Holiday, it's gonna be tough, you know.
Yeah, D White's at 82.9. And again, Tatum's taking such a heavier volume than all of these guys for him to be essentially shooting the same percentage as D White for Drew and Pritchard. I think if Pritchard's on the court, like if you are up 3, you know they're fouling, you get to have a timeout. I think I could see Pritchard on the court in that scenario, especially if we're going to have 5-second violations. Like you have to have a quick, shifty guy out there that you can just kind of throw it in a direction and hope he gets it like Edelman. So yeah, if Pritchard's out there, I could see him being the guy in that situation. I think he would thrive in that. I don't think you have to explain that as the coach is Pritchard's. Isn't he leading the league? And he was at some point this season leading the league in free throw percentage. So yeah, I'm okay with him taking that. That feels different. But even if in that scenario, I'd still lean JT. Like that's what he's built for.
Don't you also think too, like with Tatum, like, all right, if he has 37 and he's shooting 60% on the night, like, all right, yeah, he's probably going to get the ball at the end of the night. But if he has an off night, like I'm totally fine having other options. Like again, Tatum's had bad shooting nights, both in the regular season and going back to last postseason as well. It's going to happen. I do think like, I don't want to use this term, and I can't think of a freaking other term.
Well, let's talk it out. What kind of
term are you
thinking of?
I was going to say mental. I was going to say like
no,
mental midget, but I'm trying to think of a different. I'm trying to think of a different. I don't know.
Do you think it's what's a
weak-minded?
Oh, all these are even worse. No, JT, I love you, dude. Just get to the free throw line. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
But don't you think like if Tatum comes down and hits and misses a shot, the next possession down, he's not as likely to make, like he's more likely to make 2 in a row than he is miss than make. Like I don't know. I just feel like he's a momentum guy and like he remembers his last shot. And when his last shot goes in, he's got a lot more confidence in himself.
I hear that. I feel that.
You're not a mental midget, JT.
I hear that and I feel that.
You're fucking awesome, dude. You're awesome. I would never use that word. I do not
stand by that comment or any of that gobbledygook is what I would call it. Because I don't know. I don't necessarily. I think it's more when he starts hitting threes early, he's more prone to jack and abandon the drive. And I worry more about JT when he has a turnover, especially a passing one. I feel like he's more prone to get another turnover. I don't worry about him missing shots. If anything, I think that opens up his mind to, all right, the mid-range didn't work. Maybe I should drive this one. I think it more pushes him to take a different type of shot, which I think can be beneficial. The assists or the turnovers, I don't know, Miami flashbacks of him turning it over on like 3 straight possessions. I think Jaylen did against the Hawks. Like those are the type of things when they come in bunches. It kind of feels like Rafael Devers when he makes an error and then he's gonna make 2 more that game.
DH baby, moving to DH. There'll be no errors there.
I was gonna say once we go baseball talk, I'm out. I decided like.
Designated shooter would be such a fire position if you just never had to play defense.
Designated shooter. That would be phenomenal. Oh, you know what I was thinking about, guys? I wanted to bring this up. Okay, in football, now again, this would be like game-changing, completely game-changing, but I just want to float it because I had the idea.
This could be anything.
The offensive coordinator in football, or whoever calls the plays, has the quarterback in a microphone or an earpiece, right? And he's able to communicate with that person. He gives them the play call. He gives them, the information. And at a certain point, the microphone gets cut off. I think it's like 15 seconds left on the play clock or whatever it is, and then they're no longer. The same thing happens on the defensive side. You'll see one guy, they call him like the green dot guy. So it's like Juwan Bentley or Kyle Duggar or whatever below average football player the Patriots throw out there wears the green dot. But imagine if like basketball kind of had that, and instead of like calling out the play, like how swaggy would like Spoelstra be if he had his play sheet and he's just like 41 high. You can't see him say it. Like there's no way to scout it, and it just goes on the point guard's ear. Maybe I guess all 5 guys would need to know it.
Yeah, they would all have to hear it. You want
All right, let's just put headsets on everybody.
You want telepathy. You want you want them to be the
You want
X-Men.
VR.
That's what I'm hearing.
And then we'll use the VR glasses, and then we can just nobody has to play the game at all.
Yeah, you want AI basketball.
Pretty much.
That's what I'm
Please
hearing.
no.
No, I just think like
The
an
Glock
earpiece.
Basketball Association.
I think an earpiece and a communication between a coach and a player is a very, very, very interesting dynamic. And could you imagine like how pissed off Chris Paul would be if like the head coach of the Spurs was in his ear, like, all right, I want you to go to Wemby here. Like Chris Paul would be like, dude, I've been in the league for like 40 years. Like I don't
snatch his earpiece out.
He probably would.
So fast. I like that. It's not something I'd really ever considered until you brought up. I like how you explain the green dot. Like football is not the most watched television show in the country. Who doesn't know what the fucking green dot is?
Let me know. I don't think my mom knows.
True. Shout out Mrs. Buddha. I do kind of like that. Like baseball, so secretive. Like the catcher's hiding what pitch he's calling between his dick and balls. And football, you're right. They've got the Denny's menu up in front of their face, whispering plays. You got to run away from the other team 10 yards so you can whisper the play to your friends. Basketball, they're like, hey,
everybody knows the play. True. That's a fact. Everybody knows the play.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. In college football, you get 7 people holding up 12 different like art projects to be like, guess which one the play is. And, NBA, yeah, it's 1-4. Let's fucking go. Come on.
You know, there's like a linebacker who's just looking over and he's like, man, whatever the Chick-fil-A play is fucking killing us tonight. Like absolutely killing us. Like when you see Daffy Duck on the thing, like, you know, we're giving up 6.
Polynesian sauce. Polynesian sauce.
I hate that shit so much. They all stand there. They do the fake. They go, and then they go, nah, we're just kidding. What player are on, coach?
Everybody stand up.
I hate that shit so much. I absolutely hate it. College football, my least favorite part. Every school does it. When they go to kick an extra point and they all line up on the other side of the field and then sprint in. I'm like, what do you just kick the ball?
Yeah, there's no point of that.
It makes no sense to me.
They've never run a trick play. I've been waiting for a trick play out of that my whole fucking life. They never do it.
Yeah, what can you? There's no trickery. There's nothing you could do in that situation. Maybe onside. Maybe
just dead sprint in and then kick it quick. Like, just line up, dude. Kick the ball. What are you talking about?
Wasting mad energy, bruh.
Yeah, but it's like the backup left guard who hasn't played since like September. That's like his one snap of the game. He's like, I'm gonna nail this.
To their credit, they always do. It seems like a thing that would get fucked up more often than does, and I've never seen a penalty on it. They just seem to get it right every time. But yeah, college football is very funny.
Coordination, bro. Shout out Ohio State, I guess.
Fuck them.
Shout out the guys.
What Ohio State basketball players that the Celtics had? Jared Sullinger, Evan Turner.
Yeah, that's 2.
ET.
Have there been others?
I say nothing on this roster.
No, Zerbiak went to Miami of Ohio. There has to be someone else.
There's got to be more, but none come to mind.
Have to be. Where'd Steensma
Let's
go?
pull the list out. Let's do the Googles.
I mean, Steensma screams Purdue to me. Purdue.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Ohio State, there has to be. That's too big.
I got to look it up. Ohio State.
No Mike Conley, no anyone like that. We have Horford, who beat that Ohio State team. People don't like to talk about it.
Who did Horford beat in the other national championship? Holy shit, John Havlicek went to Ohio State.
Well, that's a big one.
Yeah,
that's a huge one.
There's definitely a couple old heads listening to this, like just
Larry
fuming,
yelling.
Havlicek. You got fucking Evan Turner.
We picked Evan. Oh my God! Sorry, C's, man.
Jesus.
Listen, you talk about someone who would have cooked in Havlicek's era. Evan Turner.
Evan Turner,
crazy. And I say that with no disrespect to the era. Evan Turner was really just second overall pick, very good basketball player. But back then,
when Evan Turner left us and signed with the Trailblazers, 4 years, $75 million, and I was like, dude, good for Evan Turner. Like, I cannot believe that. And again, I loved him when he was here. He was a gritty, like, backup point guard for Brad. Like, you know, it was a really interesting utilization of him. But goddamn, $75 million for a guy who can't shoot more than a 15-footer. I was like, holy shit, I cannot believe they just handed out that deal to him.
Shout out ET, baby.
There's like 60 total guys who went to Ohio State who made it to the league. So it's not a deep list, honestly. Yeah, it's not.
I mean, Ohio State basketball is not even like. Do they win? Do they win games? Like, I don't be seeing them in the.
I feel like Aaron Craft had a couple good years there.
Yeah, they always have a squad. Like they're not Kentucky or anything like that. Like D'Angelo Russell was there when he was cooking. Greg Oden was there. Like Evan Turner was there.
I remember that.
They usually with David Lighty, like they've had guys, they've had dudes, but it's never guys who translate to the Michael Redd. Like that was
Michael Redd went to Ohio State.
Guy.
Shout out Michael Redd, bro.
He was before his time. Michael Redd,
2K legend.
Dude, if he played in today's NBA when the Celtics are shooting 49 threes a game, Michael Redd would have been hard.
Facts. Oh my God.
He would have been so fucking good. Before his time, Michael Redd.
He would have absolutely cooked,
bro. His game would have translated. Oh my God.
Smooth lefty. Smooth.
Like I thought for sure Daquan Cook was going to be nice in the league. He bounced around, but he never really did anything. Derek Anderson went to Ohio State, so that's a decent one. Yeah, it's very funny. Havlicek went there. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's hard.
Like any other Celtics that went to Ohio State? I like asked the question like I knew the damn answer. No idea.
No, that's wild. But yeah, not heavy in the rotation for the NBA. That's pretty wild.
Shout out to them boys. Well, they're heavy in the NFL.
They sure are.
Super deep in the NFL. So that is that.
I want the Patriots to go up there with the 4th pick and just announce Jeremiah Smith and tell Goodell.
Are we getting 4?
Oh yeah, 4th overall.
Oh, that's so hard. Yeah, please.
Well, we had the first pick, Stiz. I'm guessing you don't know. We had the first pick going into the last game, and we won that one, and it slid us down to 4. So it was not. It was not fun.
I mean, Coley, it's kind of it is taking a page out of the Celtics playbook. Like Auerbach just went up there and was like, "We're drafting Larry Bird." They're like, "He's not eligible." He's like, "I don't give a damn. We're drafting Larry Bird."
Did you hear what I said? Bird. Fucking took him. He should have. You know what, Buddha? I'm sure there was a maximum to how many guys you could do that with back then. I'm now out on Red Auerbach for not taking Magic in the second round. Just like the same thing. Like, by the way, I'm taking him too.
Honestly, it's something people don't talk about. It's something people don't talk about, dude. Like, what the fuck? Come on, Red.
The league would have been like, why? We had 30 picks in between. No one thought of that? Nobody thought of that in the middle? Yeah, that was a huge oversight by Red. Don't know why.
I mean, Red, he wasn't doing come that. On.
That would have been an all-time move.
Can someone explain this to me? Because it kind of relates to Indiana a little bit and Larry Bird. So there was a graphic that came up on the game on Sunday. It's like NBA rivalry week. So there was a couple rivalries that they mentioned, and it's like Nets and Knicks. Now I'm not saying like Nets and Knicks is like a big rivalry, but it's like, all right, the 2 New York teams, like that makes sense to me. It was like Dallas, Minnesota, right? Like they played in the postseason last year, like Ant and Luka, 2 really good stars. Again, I don't think Dallas and Minnesota hate each other, but like that makes sense to me as a rivalry game based on what happened last year. The last game, and I know they're going to France, and I think that's really cool that like Wemby and the Spurs are going over there. Why is Indiana the rivalry team for the Spurs? Like I was trying to put the puzzle pieces together or connect the dots or something. I can't find one damn connection.
Before our time?
Kawhi Leonard is the only trade, like he was traded for George Hill. That's the only Spurs Pacers connection I can think of.
Did Reggie Miller play Tim Duncan?
No, they lost to the Lakers.
No?
I thought about that too, but no.
I was gonna say, something happened before us. This is before us, y'all.
Again, I'm all for
But neither of those teams really existed before us. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no Pacers, like great Pacers history. There was no Spurs history before like
That's
David
facts.
Robinson got there.
Mhm.
So like all that shit did have like there's nothing.
Don't you think it'd be
just have to
cooler
throw
though?
something
If, like,
together.
don't you think it'd be cooler if it was like Wemby versus Luka or like Wemby versus Jokic in France? Like maybe they do like imagine if it was like a home and home between like you play one game in Spain and like all of like Luka's fans come, and then you play one game in France and then all Wemby's fans come. Like I think that would be a cool home and home thing.
I was about to say you can't do that with Joker because he's not coming back.
No.
You're risking retirement.
I think that's big preseason hours. Like I think in the regular season that would be a cool experience. I think the teams would be like, yeah, there's a lot of travel compared to the rest of the league, and we are trying to win here. Like you can't just jam that long of a stay out. Maybe it'd be better for them. Now that I'm talking about it, take the train from one city to the other, save on that air travel. I'm talking
everybody who went
tax,
abroad
not
said
money.
the flights were cheap. Flights were cheap over there.
That's what they're worried about. Yeah.
Can't go country to country pretty cheap over there. It's pretty dope.
For sure. Yeah. Much smarter. Can't go state to state.
That's a fact.
The real smart ones will drive 17 hours to bumfuck Canada, and that's what that's big brain in it. That's big brain in it.
It's galaxy brain.
Like like you literally need like an oil change before you make that drive, and then as soon as you come home, it's like fuck, I got to get another oil change. Like that's how many miles you put on your car.
That's chaos. He said that.
I have one oil change story, just one.
Love
quick.
it. Need it.
I went to like Jiffy Lube or what's it called? What's like the God damn it! This is not that good.
I don't know. We're just gonna do on Shell. Go ahead.
I don't know. One of the places that does your oil, the oil changes, and like I go in and I'm like, they're like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, an oil change. He's like, "Okay, you want like synthetic or regular?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no fucking idea." I'm like, "What would you recommend?" He's like, "I recommend the synthetic," or like whatever it is. Again, I'm paraphrasing. I guess when they take the stick that goes in your oil tank and they dip it in the oil at the end. And then they come up to you and they show you that there's oil in your car. Dude, the first time I went there and they walked me over the thing and like showed me it. Dude, you could have brought me 2 Eggo waffles and I would have been like, looks good to me, man. Like, this is perfect. Like, bringing me something that's inside my car that's not like the steering wheel, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. Like, absolutely none. So when the guy comes over and he shows me there's oil, I'm like, dude, is brown good? Is brown bad? Like, thank you. Like, he's waiting. He's like standing there waiting for me. Like, dude, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, yeah, looks good.
Yes.
If I knew how to change the oil, I would have already done it.
They walk it over with the rag like they brought out champagne at a restaurant too. They're like, "Is this good, sir?" And
dude, it's like a presentation.
92,
like,
love it.
It's a presentation of the oil. What's the goddamn place called?
Jiffy, like you said, Jiffy Lube. I said Pep Boys.
Oh, Valvoline. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, not a sponsor. Fucking expensive.
No,
they're expensive. I'm not letting them to sponsor them. You give me 25% off, they can be a sponsor.
I feel like we can aim a little higher than that, but that's way to go.
It was 25% off, bro.
It was an individual cash-strapped oil companies really shorten the pocket.
They're running out of dinosaur oil, you know?
I don't even believe that. They told me there weren't that many diamonds. Look at them. There's diamonds everywhere you look.
There's hella diamonds.
So if there's lab-grown diamonds that everyone's raving about because they're a lot cheaper, why can't we just make lab-grown oil?
They probably could.
I mean, why the fuck are we doing a Celtics podcast, guys?
I was about to say, this is past me. Past my pay grade now.
It's all right. My pay grade's 25% off at Valvoline.
You know everything about big gas, Stiz. Am I right? folks.
That is a fact. Not the dinosaur fuel, but the dinosaur fuel. You feel me?
I was gonna say dinosaur fuel would be an unbelievable strain
The
name.
real dinosaur fuel.
Unbelievable strain name. What do you got?
We're
What do you got? A
copywriting
pack
this
of that
now.
A pack
We're
of that
copywriting it now,
dino
y'all.
fuel.
It just happened. Dino
Yeah, that's
fuel,
patent
bro.
pending. That's patent
It's
pending.
here.
Dino
It's here.
fuel, and you can only buy oil. Like you can only, it doesn't come in actual bud. It's just only oil.
It's
buy hash.
really oil.
Yeah, it's really oil.
Jet fuel. Oh man. So we got some games coming up.
Hold on, Coley. Hold on.
Some
We got
good
some games
ones.
coming up. But we got to talk
we're
about the
getting
end of
to
the
it.
Atlanta game again.
All right.
Did
We
Drew
definitely
know to
asked about
foul
it,
or
but-
did Drew not know to foul?
On the arm pull?
On the arm pull.
Bro, he definitely didn't. He definitely thought we were up 3. I feel like he thought we were up, bro.
It kind of felt similar to when Marcus Smart threw the half court shot, like when there was 24 seconds on the shot clock. Like it's just a lack of focus and come on, guys.
He definitely thought we were up 3, bro.
And
Like,
Drew
he
would be the guy
definitely
that you're
thought we
like,
were up
he'll
3.
never make a mistake. He would never do anything like that.
What I bet probably happened was JT was at the line. He was like, he's got these, and he was probably already thinking like, make sure you don't foul while he's in the act of shooting. You can't get an and one here. Like, I don't even think he clocked that JT missed the second one.
Yeah, he probably thought those were sure things. But I don't think if you're Drew Holiday, you don't make that play if you you know what I'm saying, if you know that situation. There was definitely a brain fart there, bro. There was definitely a brain fart there. Can't blame him for it. It is what it is.
No,
We shouldn't have got to overtime anyway. Let's start there.
Yeah, I think his turnover was worse than the foul to me. The throwing it backwards when you're all alone. Like we just said, he's 90% free throw shooter. Let them foul you. I understand there's a hierarchy. I understand you want to get it to your guys, but throwing a sideline pass, like the Santonio Holmes pass to Jaylen, I don't know if that was the move given the situation either. So like, just hold on, turn around, lay it up. I don't give a fuck. Put us up 5 at that point. Game over. You know what I mean? Like, just lay it in. See you later. Good night. So that's where the foul, I think, was
that layup was there. Oh my god!
Yeah,
it was free. It was free.
I get it. Like that's, I think, a team-wide problem, and always has been, always will be. It didn't matter last year; it never really came up. They try to over-manipulate the clock, like they try and play the clock more than the game sometimes, and that will always drive me insane. Just hoop. Like Drew Holiday hitting a layup there isn't one of those like disrespectful things that's going to cause a benches clearing brawl. You know what I mean? He's not windmill dunking and then flipping off the other bench. Like you just get your 2 points. There'll be 11 seconds left. If they score 6 points in 11 seconds, I don't know that there was anything you were going to be able to do correct.
Yeah, if they Tracy McGrady us after that, then that is what it is.
Yeah,
But
just take the points. Just
take
take them.
the points, bro. I forgot
Simple.
that layup was there, bro. This hurts even more now. Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah, or just dribble to the corner. That's going to take 4 seconds. Just don't throw it out of bounds. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
That's fair, Coley. That's fair.
I feel like I'm usually typically fair. I set a high bar, but I don't give you the toughest path to attain it. You know what I mean? Just come on now. We're at the beginning of this West Coast swing. We got
a
Clips
back-to-back
tomorrow
right?
night. Yeah. How do you tell us? Hey, how is everything out there? So many things have happened in the world. I don't know if the state's still on fire or not.
No, I think it's last time I checked yesterday, it's like 58% contained now. Things just seem like they're back to normal-ish. Definitely wear a mask if you're outside, fellas. Bro, just the air is not healthy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think like the city for the most part is like normal-ish. I mean, I don't know nobody like going out and stuff like that and eat right now, but the restaurants are open, things are going.
It's crazy. So what, like, that has to play into like these games too? Like, do you think?
Yeah.
Typically teams are out there. They fuck around in LA because it's LA, and why wouldn't you? But do you think because they're really not going to have the time or desire to do that, and it's a back-to-back, that won't even really play a factor here?
No, I don't think it's going to play a factor this time around. I think like it's just going to be dinner vibes. You know what I'm saying? Dinner vibes, come home, think about the game, bro. I don't think, there's not going to be much of a point of being out for real. Not right now. So I think we clean up this back to back. I'm a little bit worried about Kawhi. Just a little bit. But I think we clean up on this back to back for sure.
Well, isn't that what happened last year, Buddha? We smacked them in LA without Kawhi, and then they beat the shit out of us later in the season
when he came
in Boston
with Kawhi.
And isn't that? Didn't we beat the shit out of them already this year? Didn't we smoke them earlier this year? I thought we did.
Potentially.
I feel like we played.
It is funny because Kawhi Leonard's one of those guys where like he's going to play 13 games this season, but like 7 of them he's essentially going to tell the whole world like, hey, if I want to, I'm still the guy. I'm still him. Like he's phenomenal.
Yeah, we beat the Clippers 126-94.
Oh. How many did Pritchard have?
That was
Let's just play the game. Let's just play the game.
First game.
How many points did Pritchard have that night? Over under 16.5.
Oh, last year?
No, it was this year.
I'll take
this year.
Oh, I was just saying last year under, but this year, I'm definitely taking the over. I'll take the over. 16 and a half. I'll take the over.
Yeah, he put up.
What was the score?
Yeah, 126-94.
Yeah.
How many did he have?
20. I think this was during the stretch he was really going off too, so that makes sense.
Yeah, they got their big brother back now, so.
Yeah, I mean, if whatever happened, we're minus 8.5, which I love. Yeah, they're still 24-18. Like they're just kind of very solid. Tyler was making the point the other day. The Clippers were a joke forever. And now because like the Kawhi and Paul George thing didn't work, but they're still an above average team, I feel like that gets unnoticed. Like the Clippers of past, that would have happened and it would have been hilarious. Everyone would have laughed at them and they would have continued to stink. But that isn't kind of what they do now. So shout out the Clippers because the Lakers do stink.
I love the Clippers team that lost to Golden State when they were like peak Durant. And it was I think it was like Lou Williams and Pat Bev, and they just looked at each other. They were like, what could you do differently against Kevin Durant? And he's like, we tried, man. We really tried. Like, that was peak funny, just like outclassed. Like you just don't have a shot, you know?
Yeah, bro. We tried, bro.
He's like, tried all different guys, different defenses. He's just good. Like, he's just good.
He has not much you can do. If the 7-1 guy wants to be a shooting guard, there's not much you can do about that.
Derek White and Horford listed as questionable for the Clippers game, so I do believe both of them will sit, which makes me think that it's going to be a geared up roster for the Lakers, which I like. Like LeBron, it's sad to say, how many times is LeBron and the Celtics going to go at it again? Like 6, 4? Like it's
not too many more times, man. Not too many more times.
Like I want to beat. I never want LeBron to beat us again. I'm setting LeBron
but according
to
LeBron, he can play for another 6 years. So who knows, bro? He's
don't you believe him though?
Yeah,
don't you think 46-year-old LeBron is still good enough to be rostered?
Somehow, I still see him flying around at 46.
I feel like I'm like one of the few people who just appreciates LeBron. Like I think Jordan was better. I don't think it was like a huge gap. I want him to put this scoring record as high as possible.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Run it the fuck up. Like, cause we won't see that again. We just won't.
Let's say, yeah, man. This whole era, like that whole era, bro. I want them to just run it up, bro.
Yeah. Same thing with Steph and
KD,
threes,
bro. Yeah, Steph, KD, bro. Y'all just have fun. Just go hoop, bro.
The Celtics are a rare case, but I did feel like, and I know Curry ripped our hearts out in 2022, guys. I know that Durant joined them, and I rooted against Curry for like as hard as anybody. But I have started to respect like him and LeBron and Durant, the layer that they get in their careers.
I've started to.
Oh my god.
I'm beginning to.
When Durant was in Golden State, like
I've been crushing the numbers.
They're okay.
It's starting to make sense, y'all.
They're okay. No, but like I saw the end for Steph Curry on Sunday. Like the Celtics, they're a rare case because their shortest guy is 6'4", but like all they did was just try to get somebody, especially when they were pushing in transition. If you were 6'6" or bigger, you were just trying to find Steph Curry in transition, post him up to get the ball inside. Like, I don't know how sustainable that's going to be for 38, 40, 42-year-old Steph Curry. Because I've always said, like, well, there's always going to be a place in the league for him. Like, there's, any team can use Steph Curry, whether it's a baseline out of bounds play, a sideline out of bounds play, one possession game. Like, any team can use him forever. Like, if he was a player coach at some point, they could throw him in the game. But I did look at it and I was like, damn, I don't know. I don't know how he's going to guard guys when he's that much older. And again, when we talk about the killer whale offense and picking on the weakest link, it was clear and evident that Curry was the weakest link, more so now than ever. And what is it going to look like 3 years from now?
Horrible, because all these guys are 6'10" and fly around.
It's crazy.
It's going to be horrible, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I never took Steph as going to be a guy who tried to play as long as LeBron. Like I feel like his legacy's the most ironclad out of everyone we've mentioned so far. Like he's going to go down with the title greatest shooter ever. That'll live forever. It'll always be. Like, I don't know what basketball is going to look like in 100 years, but his name will be brought up in those conversations. We still bring up Pistol Pete. I know it's been 100 years.
Steph's changed the game more than anybody ever.
That's a fact.
I think Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan.
Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant's a tight second.
Siri heard that one. Sorry, guys.
That's a fact. Just the build of Kevin Durant and how he plays.
Sorry about that.
Did I go away again?
Yes,
sorry.
Yeah, Buddha can go. Yeah,
my bad.
You said Kevin
that was
Durant.
on me.
Kevin
I think Siri picked me up.
Sure.
Jordan obviously took the, and Magic and Bird, right? They turned the league what it is to today. And Jordan elevated it. But in terms of like how the game is played, it's a different sport. And you can thank Steph Curry for that. Like he's completely changed what's possible and how guys work out and how guys, what teams are looking for, right? Like he has completely changed what NBA general managers are thinking on a day-to-day basis.
I think it's him, and a close second is Kevin Durant, just because of the way guys are built and the way that they play now. If you were 7'1" before, you would just automatically play center. Just look at Anthony Davis. He was a point guard his whole career, and then he got to high school, had a growth spurt, and it was like, you're a center now. You know what I'm saying? Before KD, it just wasn't a thing for a 7-foot guy to come down and be a shooting guard. I think he also changed the game in a crazy way.
For sure. Yeah, and even just the way he hoops, the way he looks at basketball, I think he's been hugely influential. Like you hear Ant last year being like, that's my favorite hooper ever. Like I think he's been a tremendous positive for basketball. And we were talking before we got on about the Dodgers and how the people are saying they're bad for baseball. It reminds me of the Warriors. And people said they were bad for basketball when KD went there. That's such a short-term outlook on it. I haven't heard as many people talk about fucking baseball in my life as I have this last week because of what the Dodgers are doing. Same thing with the Warriors. Everything they did, people would talk about. And now I see people lament the current team that runs the league, which is the Celtics. And it's just like, man, do we miss those Warriors? I'm seeing in football. People are like, man, people are lying about the Patriots being likable. And it's just like, we were there. Like I promise,
I was alive for that.
I promise I didn't feel the love when we were stacking up the titles. I don't recall people being like, man, this is sick. Nobody said that. No one at all. I remember the funeral. I remember it several times because it happened when Brady left. It happened when Belichick left. Like, I've witnessed all the mass celebrations at the demise of the Patriots, pretending we were at all some darling of the nation because you hate the current Chiefs is insane. Doing it about the Warriors is insane. But I do appreciate that the basketball players coming up behind him, Kevin Durant is that guy, it seems to be. He's like T-Mac for our generation.
That's a fact, bro.
Like everyone just loved T-Mac. There wasn't anything to it. We didn't give a fuck really about the playoff shit. You know what I mean? No one, I never heard anyone like in seriousness bring up T-Mac's playoff woes. growing up, it was just like, boy, does that guy hoop, and he's got cool sneakers. Like that's all. He had a leg sleeve. Like that's it. So we cared. All the fuck we cared about. I give a fuck if the Magic were good in the playoffs. Why would that concern me? Why would that all concern me growing up? I don't give a fuck
That's
about
a fact.
that. Yeah,
Don't you think
cool, sick jersey.
Don't you think that Durant, to some of the younger generation in the NBA right now, like Team USA definitely factored in, and like I think that.
Sure.
I think again, you're gonna make fun of my Syracuse stuff, but I think people liked. I think a lot of people in the league looked up to Melo to a point because of some of his
1000%.
Team USA. Like Draymond was a guy, Jimmy was a guy who looked up to Melo as somebody who kind of led them forward and was the leader. And it felt like Durant. Again, LeBron and Curry were there, so it's hard for him. But Durant's been there consistently for Team USA, and bringing guys along. So I do think that factors in a little bit.
Kevin Durant, above all else, loves basketball. And it couldn't be more evident. And the way he comports himself, the way he carries himself, the way he approaches the game, all of it. He's a fan of basketball. And I think through all the other noise, that shines the brightest. Of course, the Olympic stuff helps. And of course, the Melo shit. Like Melo's forever cool as hell. When he came into the league in 03, it was just like, man, how blessed are we? We get LeBron, Melo, Dwayne Wade. We didn't even really know what we had Dwayne Wade.
That is crazy.
Darko, I mean.
Right. Yeah, people were buzzing over Darko. Chris Kaman, Kaman mania was sweeping the nation.
Kaman. That's when the Clippers.
Kaman.
That's when the Clippers were like. It was like, dude, if Coutinho Mobley's your best player, you're really not that fucking good.
Oh, Elton Brand was their
Elton
best
Brand, that's a good one.
Elton Brand jerseys were selling. Damn.
They were.
Elton Brand jerseys were everywhere, bro. Jeez.
People were outside wearing quadruple X Elton Brand or the Lamar Odom
bro.
Clippers jersey went platinum as well.
Facts.
But people were, no joke, wearing those with the headbands and wristbands to go with them. Champs, tall tee underneath like that. I still haven't seen people dress. Billie Eilish dresses like that today. She's the only one who understands. She's the only one who understands the culture, Stiz.
Oh, God.
Steve Francis for Tracy McGrady was like one of the first big superstar trades
Cinema.
I can remember. Like it was like
Stevie
I
franchise,
cannot
bro.
believe two teams would move on from those two guys. Steve Francis was a fucking monster.
Stevie franchise, bro. He was the one. He was, bro.
He really was. Houston Rocket went crazy. Orlando Magic, slightly less crazy. New York Knicks, not crazy at all.
No.
The downfall for both of them was sad. I didn't appreciate either of those. Everyone wants to lament Derrick Rose. I've seen so many angels fall from the sky. Like I've seen so many people get their careers taken up under them. And I hate it every time.
Did T-Mac get a ring in San Antonio? I feel like he was on one of those teams, but I don't know if they won it.
T-Mac got a ring?
No, I think what the big thing was is he got out of the first round. That was the only place he did it was with San Antonio, and he was obviously.
Wait, T-Mac has a ring?
No,
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think his last year was the year they lost to the Heat, and then the next year they won.
Damn.
Huh.
That's
I
tough.
think. I mean, again, we all have the internet. We have every answer in the world in front of us.
Nah,
That's
it's better to
tough,
wing
though.
it. It's way better to wing it.
No, you're not wrong.
Use them natural facts, baby.
Because you
You're
know
not
what?
wrong,
Because you
but
know
I-
what?
No.
Someone
No
who's
ring.
listening is probably like, I wonder if T-Mac does have a ring or not.
No. Hall of Fame, 7-time
Because I definitely,
All-Star,
y'all almost got me. I was like, for real?
7-time All-NBA, 2-time
Y'all almost
scoring
turned that
champ.
to a fact in my head. I
Kobe
was
said
gonna
he was
outside
like
with
he
that.
was the hardest guy.
Like, yo, T-Mac
and Durant.
T-Mac got a ring?
T-Mac and Durant. Kobe said he's like, I had no answer for those guys.
Oh, T-Mac was cold, bro. 15 points in how many seconds?
Like 31.
It was it was 11 and what was it? Was it 11 and 31?
11 and 31? Yeah, come on,
Something
bro.
crazy like that.
Honestly,
That's tough, bro.
how fun would it have been to be a Rockets fan at some points? Like Tracy McGrady is what arguably one of the top 10, top 5, top 3. It depends on when we are, but like score in the league. And then you have Yao, like Yao Ming. Like that's so cool.
13 and 35.
Then they got James
seconds.
Harden. They had some exciting scores. Then they got James Harden over there. Now they got Jaylen Green. They have some exciting scores.
Steve Francis.
Stevie Franchise. They got exciting scores. That's what they do. They were like, yo, we're just going to get the most exciting guys.
T-Max was 13 points in 35 seconds. The Rockets.
That's insane, bro.
I respect the Rockets for not punting while the Warriors were happening.
Good
like
call.
every year they tried something new. They had Harden in his prime. They were like, we feel like we got a shot. If they didn't literally have the worst shooting stretch in NBA history
ever,
maybe they do beat them. It was 0 for 30. I can't remember, 0 for 29, something crazy like that.
So bad. Who
Yeah,
else was in that starting
29.
lineup? So it was PJ Tucker and Capella at the 4 and the 5. Who else started?
Wasn't it Chris Paul, James Harden, and
Chris Paul, James Harden,
Eric Gordon?
Eric Gordon.
That sounds about right. That does sound right. But yeah, let's just go natural facts. Eric Gordon.
Just wing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else was on those teams. It was guys just
I really just got to stop asking questions that I don't know the answer to without looking them up. Okay, Coley, who won the 48 World Series?
I do think that was the Cardinals, but I don't remember for sure.
Get the fuck out of here.
That'd be hard if you got that.
Well, I'm
Look it up. That'd be
I'm
hard.
gonna guess
Cardinals?
I'm gonna guess it was the Yankees.
Yeah, it's a safe guess given the era. Fuck,
they
it
were
was
killing
Cleveland.
it. I heard.
No, it was
Cleveland
Cleveland's
Indians.
only one. Yeah, it was their only one. That was my other. I knew it was red. That's why I didn't think it was the Yankees, but I couldn't remember if 48 was when they'd won or if it was a streak they had.
That's pick two, Coley. That's good, bro.
Well, I mean, I could say that now, like, you know, I don't know, but I did remember red. Cleveland, fucking Cleveland, though they've won ever, and that's the year Buddha brings up.
Didn't do it on purpose.
Oh yeah, and then they've got the Mavs. They have the Dallas Mavericks. Jake, how do you feel about where they're at and this upcoming 3-game set?
Dude, I wanted 4-0 so badly last week. We went out and immediately lost to the Raptors, which is a tough way to start the 4-0 stretch. So I feel like my 4-0 itch just hasn't been scratched yet. So I'm going to run that back again this week.
It was tough. I did think of that. I was like, man, we couldn't even pretend like we were going to get it. Oh, and I guess
It's like having a New Year's resolution, and then it's like, what'd you do on New Year's Day? It's like, I went out and got 2 double cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Like immediately that ship sailed. Immediately.
it's way too cold to be focused on stuff like that right now. I woke up this morning. First thing I saw was feels like -4. I said, thanks. Appreciate it. Great.
Oh, that's horrible.
I said, yeah, fuck yeah. But that's Maine living, baby. I did forget the Rockets will also play the Celtics on Monday. So there will be 4 games. Shout out Jake for his 4-0 prediction. I just didn't say that out loud. I didn't check the date on that because I was so focused on the road trip. But that one's back home. Rockets game last time was a calm but competitive win. I don't expect them to be worried. Ime Udoka back in Boston. I'm sure he'll hear a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna fuck around with the Lakers one. I feel like we typically go 1-1 against the Lakers, and it drives me insane because they stink. I think we're gonna drop that one.
I'm looking at the Clippers. I want a 4-0 too. I really want a 4-0 stretch. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute, bro. I'm looking at that Clippers game. For some reason, the Mavericks don't worry me at all. Like,
no,
at all. I don't know why, but they don't worry me at all. Western Conference champs, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not really too worried about the feisty Rockets either, bro. I know they're gonna be flying around doing their thing, but Thompson Twin is gonna be doing his thing too. But I'm not really tripping on them. I want a 4-0 real bad. Buddha wants a 4-0 too.
Buddha, he's dead. The Mavs worry me in this sense. Luke is not playing, and when the Celtics see stuff like that, they're like, this team doesn't count. And then they end up being tied with like 5 minutes left. Like what happened with Denver when Jokic didn't play, and that game was closer than it needed to be. So that's one I could just see it being more annoying than it needs to be. Like Kyrie goes off, something stupid like that. Right, Buddha?
Oh
boy.
You got the red mic. It's doing the red flash. No green.
The top scene.
It's all good, Buddha. We'll wait for your prediction. It's all good, baby.
Yeah, no.
I said you picked 4-0 though.
He would never do that though. He'd probably go 0-4.
He would. 2-2, prove me wrong. 2-2, prove me wrong.
The Lakers are going to beat us so bad they're going to give them our title. They hang titles from other cities already, so they'll take another one.
I know Buddha wants to say this real bad. I can see it.
I think he's saying 3-1. Did I get those hand signals correct? You're picking 3-1? Yep.
3-1? All right.
3-1.
Who we lose to? No, Lakers? Mavs?
Wow.
That's the one? That's the one.
Wow. Derek Lively goes off, he's saying, for 7 straight threes.
I forgot about that. Forgot about the Derek Lively problem. We have big issue, bro. We have a big issue.
No, because the reason I somewhat am going to contradict myself from what I just said, Kristaps still hates the Mavs. So as long as he's playing in that game, I think he's going to go crazy.
That is a fact. You're right. That's a fact.
Okay. So
30 ball from Kristaps.
Back in on 4-0 with Jake, where we're cooling right now. They can start to see the All-Star break coming. They're like, hey, let's just bang these games out quick. We'll hit the All-Star break, and then we can go from there. So yeah, that's what I think's coming, and we're due. Honestly, we deserve it.
That's a fact.
But we will be back after that Rockets game. Buddha will be able to talk again and tell us about getting his tires rotated.
We didn't get no Tewksbury talk. Damn, bro.
No, he's saying he doesn't even want it. Shout out to Tewksbury.
No. Yeah, we don't even need to hear about it then.
No.
Shout
Very
out to the
convenient.
boys, man.
He actually shot his mic. You can't see it, but he shot his mic so he didn't have to talk about Tewksbury. We'll see everybody next week after this 4-0 run.
I'm so fed up with these niggas, I'm fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, I'm fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, I'm fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm so fed up with these niggas, flexing like they got it. I'm so fed up with these bitches, popping off like they popping. I'm so fed up with these club promoters that mention me like it's rocking. I'm so fed up with you rap niggas, cause lies is all you talking. I'm so fed up with these niggas, acting like they moving work while we was running from 12. Only serving you knew was church. How you forget? I ain't forget. Niggas ain't want me around. I got the sound, gotta cut the check. I'm so fed up with these niggas, fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up, fed up. Y'all don't need no Grammys, Going hard for my family, fed up with these feds, locking all my dogs down. So fed up with these judges, all the pills getting shot down. I'm so fed up with these ankle braces, my niggas can't even party with me. So fed up with my enemies, them pussy boys don't want it with me. I'm fed up with these young niggas coming up, acting tough. My youngest nigga just caught a body. If you want a problem, we can knuckle up. We can shoot it out, homie, what you want. We could do it, it ain't nothing to it. I'm so fed up with these fuck niggas that think they moving but ain't got no movement. I'm fed up with my block, cause any day could be my last. So fed up with this rap shit, like should've stayed my ass in class. So fed up with my lifestyle, got no job but I got the work. I'm fed up with my customers, every fucking minute my phone alert. I get fed up with my niggas, cause they don't go as hard as me. They don't see their potential, how great niggas ought to be. I be fed up with this whack weed, man, this shit don't even get me high. I be fed up with a lot of shit, I'ma keep smoking and get me by. I'm so fed up with these niggas, I'm fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas, I'm fed up with these hoes. Y'all don't understand me, I'ma go hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up, fed up. Y'all don't understand me, so I'm going hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up, I'm fed up. Y'all don't need no Grammys, going hard for my family, boy. I'm fed up with these niggas.